How is it going, everybody? I hope you're having a marvelous day. I know I am. A little cloudy here. We had some rain, as you'll be able to tell here in a second. But today's video is, I've done videos on my 5th gen, you know, 5 things I hate about it and everything. Still got to do the 5 things I love about it, but today our video topic is going to be this bad boy. The 5 things that I hate about it. So let's get it pulled out and let's discuss it. I'll tell you the 5 things that I hate. Some of them you've probably heard before. Some of them you might not have heard before. But that's what it's about today. So stay tuned. All right, out here in the yard, a little bit more quiet, peaceful time. That way you can get a better look at it. Now this is a 1993 Chevrolet Z28 Camaro. And they've had many different models. They've had the RS, which was the V6 model. They've had the Z28. They've had the SS. Their Z28 line, if you don't know the history of Camaros, the Z28 line is more of their track car. So the suspension is stiffer and all that. But you know, this is for a whole different video. I just wanted you to know that this is the Z28 model. This is the first year of the 4th generation new body style. It came over from the 3rd generation, which had the IROC and the RS also. And then later on they had the Z28 model. But I figured I'd go over some of the things that I dislike. I don't really hate anything about this car. There's a few things that I dislike. And we will go over those now. And one of the first major ones, and I will go over these in no particular order. Pop the hood. It's not going to be best to last, last to worst, nothing like that. But the first thing that I hate or dislike about this is look at this engine compartment. You have to excuse the leaves. It's fall and I park under trees. But yeah, just look at this engine compartment. The number one thing that I hate about this car, or strongly dislike, that I could change if I could, is the room, or lack thereof. I mean, look at the engine. Half of the engine is underneath the windshield on this vehicle. That's right. Half of the engine is under the windshield. Everything that you do to this car, you have to do from underneath. There is absolutely no room. I changed the spark plugs and wires in this car one time, and it took me 8 hours to do it. Yeah, I'm ashamed. Now, I didn't get in no hurry, and I wasn't out there busting my butt or anything, but it took 8 hours. Every one of the plugs, except for the first one on each side, you had to get from underneath. And that sucked. Laying on my back for 8 hours, I couldn't do it. I change one or two, get out, do another one or two, because the wires have to be run behind the exhaust manifolds. The plugs are a bear to get to. I mean, you can see there's no way to get a socket wrench and stuff hardly down in there to get to it. So yeah, everything had to be done from the bottom. So the number one thing is lack of room to work on this. Now, while we've got the hood open, I'll discuss the number 2 thing that I dislike about this car, because it is similarly related. And the number 2 thing I dislike about this car is the lack of parts. Now, this body style will indeed share body parts from 93 to 97, okay? It will. But as far as 93 specific, which this is a 1993, there's no specific parts for it hardly. Whenever you look up parts, say headers, you look up headers for this car, which I haven't put on yet, because I'm completely satisfied with the way it sounds, but I'm getting ready to start modding this car a little bit more, and I'm thinking about long tubes. But if you look up headers for this car, there's none for a 93. And if you get lucky enough to find some for a 93, you have to delete all your EGR stuff. All this stuff has to go. Gotta go. Can't keep it. So then you lose your smog, which, this being a 1993, it's not going to be very collectible until 30, 40 years down the road. if then. But you know, if you ever plan on reselling, which I don't plan on doing, people that want to buy the car want it to be able to pass emissions, even though this no longer is emission specific because of the age. But long story short, lack of parts. If I get anything, it has to be something that the 94 through 97 body style shares, or you're just not gonna find it. It just ain't gonna happen. Now with that said, go on to the next one. Alright, now we're getting into the complaints that most people have. Number 3 on my list of things that I dislike about my 1993 Z28 Camaro is this obtrusive hump right here in the passenger side. Now I very, very rarely have passengers, but look at that, it goes from there. I mean, that's a 2.5 inch hump right there, and it's huge. You still have your floor room, but there's a hump there, and when you get in, it just feels like you're sitting on the ground. And I know what it's for. It's for the catalytic converter, and they had to do something because these cars from the factory set low anyway, because like I was saying, this is a track-oriented car. But that big, obtrusive, obnoxious hump, nobody likes it. And yeah, that's my number 3 thing. All right, I know I said I was going to do 5, but I think I'm going to do 6. And I'll show you this one. Ooh, it's closing on me. Number 4, I think it is now. Yeah, number 4 that we're up to. And it really doesn't bother me as much as it does some people. And the reason it doesn't, well, take a look. Yeah. But the number 4 thing that I could change, if I could change anything on this car, would be the soundproofing, or lack thereof. Now, I like listening to my music, as you can tell. But what I like listening to more than that is the sound of the engine, the sound of the exhaust. So it doesn't bother me that there's not a lot of sound deadening. The sound deadening that they do have is under the floorboard, the carpet, and under the seats. And that's it. There is none outside of that. See, let me show you. Let me take this out. Get that out of the way. And let me see if I can get it to where you can see it. Will you lift that up? See? Nothing. Bare metal. And the exhaust is right there. So, you know, you get, and the axle's right there, so you get a lot of road noise and everything, but I don't hear that anyway because of the exhaust. But the number 4 thing that if I could change would be sound deadening. And I'm fixing to take the carpet out this coming spring. I'm gonna redo the carpet. I'm gonna put me some racing seats in it and stuff, hopefully, Lord willing. And I'll address that then. I might add a little bit of sound deadening back here. You know, maybe some Dynamat or something like that. But that's the number 4 thing on the list. Soundproofing. All right, we're in the home stretch now. Number 5. The number 5 thing that I dislike about this car, let me switch this on real quick. That way it activates the delayed shut off. The number 5 thing that I hate about this car, or I dislike, I don't hate anything about my car. I love this car. That's why I still have it. And who can say that they actually have a car that's paid off, that they've had for a while, that they truly enjoy? I mean, I haven't lost anything on this car at all. It has not given me any trouble. Now with that said, I've had to replace 2 things on this car. One was the smog pump, because I used to keep it covered up and I hardly ever drove it because I had another vehicle. And it developed one little dot of rust on the smog pump, the blades on the inside of it, so it wouldn't spin and throw a trouble code. And the second thing is, and that leads us to our number 5 thing that I dislike, is the power windows in this thing. Now I love the fact that it has power windows. I really do. But what do I hate about it? Watch this. I'll do the passenger side because it's the worst. Without the engine running, look how slow that comes down. And look how slow it goes up. Feel a year older. Thank God for air conditioning, right? But the number 5 thing is the window motors in this thing are notorious about going out. That one over there got to where it would barely go up and down. I've never had any trouble with the driver's side. But the passenger side, there's thousands of videos on YouTube about the window motors. And you know, the number 5 thing is the window motors on this. I replaced them. Now with it running, it goes up and down quicker. But that's still not, by today's standards, that's still very, very slow. I can't do anything about it except replace them. And like I said, that one got to where it was real slow, so I replaced it. But yeah, that's the number 5 thing. The window motors in these cars suck. Yay! Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video here. The number 6 thing. And I really didn't give this much thought because, like I said, I've never really hated this car. I've never really hated anything about it, except for the fact that it's a pain in the butt to work on. Like I showed you, there's no room. But this one I developed, or I noticed, that I found, I discovered, I realized when I went to clean my car one day. I had never put any protected on the leather, if you will, or the plastic. So I was starting to notice, you know, it was getting kind of light. You know, I put it on this, I put it on my door panels, every piece of plastic in this thing. But that's the number 6 thing, is the plastic. There's so much of it. And like I said, I noticed this when I went to doing it. And it pisses me off when I discovered this. The dash liner, the dash cover up here, okay? It sits in the sun all day. It's plastic, it bakes, it cooks. I never had one single crack in it. Never, never, never. And I've taken that thing out so many times, replacing the stereo, you know, doing wiring and stuff on the car. I used to have a big monster tack up here when I raced it and whatnot. So, you know, I ran all my wires through the, up underneath, had it all hid and whatnot. Well, one day when ooh, a lot of skin. Don't y'all be hating there now, you know. But I discovered when I went to do this, I went to pop out the cover so I could put the protectant on it, because I had noticed it was a little faded and I never put anything on it. What do you think happened when I went to do it? Now keep in mind, this is very easy to put in and out. There's just a couple little pegs that it sits on, and there's a couple little Velcro pieces. But what do you think happened? Well, let me show you. And I'm very embarrassed to show this because I take such pride in my cars and everything. But I'm going to fix it, so don't worry. The first thing that happened was this little piece right here popped out. Okay? So I said, well, I'll glue it back in. So then I went to pry a little bit more. When I did that, big old crack right here. So I said, piss on it. I'll just go ahead and take it out. I never got it out. And this happened. Yep. Like I said, I'm very ashamed of it, but there's nothing I can do about it. Age, and that's from 1993. Age, heat, you know, all that good stuff contributed to it. And like my wife says, I should have just left it alone. But I was doing it because, let's face it, it's hard to reach way up there. I mean, look at the distance that's between here and that corner up there to try to reach way up there, you know. So to prevent getting anything from on the windshield, which would have been a pain in the butt to clean, I thought I'd be smart and pop that piece out. Didn't work. Not even close. Didn't work. No. To replace that, $500. Yes, a piece of plastic, $500. There's several places that carry it, and there's a couple places online that I could buy it used. Well, to get it used is $400. 400 used, been sitting in the sun in cars and salvage yards and stuff. 500 new, and be able to get another lifetime out of it. I'll go to 500 route. But yeah, $500 for a piece of plastic. But it's my own fault. I can't blame the car. It's just something that I discovered that there was so much of it in here. Come here, look. That big old piece, this is plastic. This is kind of a leatherette vinyl. Plastic, kind of a leather vinyl. Plastic back there. So the number 6 thing that I hate on this car that I could change if I could change anything, all the plastic. But I thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you've learned a few things about the 4th gens. You know, if you ever decide to go to look for one, because these cars are very cheap right now, and they're so easy to get high performance out of, and I will be discussing that in a later video. But yeah, I am so glad you guys decided to stick around. Thank you all to my subscribers. I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate the support and your continued views. And for you new people checking out these videos, thank you for stopping by so much. I hope you found something informative or even useful. And, you know, be sure to check out some of my other videos. There might be something there for you too. But you guys take care out there. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.